Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the I Love Me podcast, where we talk about self-love, positivity, and how to love yourself for all and everything that you are. Today, I'm joined by my very special guest, PJ, and I thought I'd just let him give a little introduction about himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pushkaraj. I go by PJ, and I'm a fourth-year student at Mount Allison, and I'm from India.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So let's just hop straight into it. Have you ever had any negative experiences within your life?
Definitely, I've had my share of negative experiences. One of them that I want to talk about is colorism, and it's not something that's mostly happened here, but I've experienced that a lot back home in India. It's quite ironic where like most of the country is dark skinned and you still experience colorism there. But yeah, when I was a kid, a lot of times like I experienced that people look down upon darker skin, and lighter skin is always preferred whenever it comes to just every aspect in life. And so yeah, it kind of developed a sense of like this thought in my mind that darker skin is not good, and it's you must have lighter skin to like be something in your life. But yeah, as time passed by, that experience turned into a learning, and I just learned that the color of your skin doesn't matter. What matters is your actions and what you do in life, basically. So yeah, and I started just liking my skin color. I became more comfortable with it. It didn't matter how I looked in pictures. When Instagram came out, I remember I used to use the brightness like a lot, like increase the brightness so that my skin looked lighter.
Yeah.
Just so that, and you could see that the picture was edited because like I used to put the brightness in like 80, 90, whatever it was. But later on, I just started accepting that, it's just the color of your skin. It doesn't matter what your skin color is and how you look.
Yeah.
All that matters is how you treat other people and what you do in your life. So that's something that I learned over like these experiences. I wouldn't like, it is definitely a negative experience, but I feel that like with your negative experiences, you get to learn a lot, and that basically helps you like build your own character.
Yeah.
You are the product of your own experiences, right? Like whatever you are. So yeah.
Not to dropping messages now.
So yeah, that's one experience that I've had, and it's really helped me. Actually, that experience itself has actually helped me accept who I am. So I wouldn't, if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't not have that experience. Like I'm kind of glad that I had it.
Yeah.
You just get to learn stuff. So that was one of it, and I think it's still happening back home. Like, it's kind of like improving bit by bit, but there's still colorism, even if it's like your own people, it's in your own country. It's just the way it is. And the other experience that I want to talk about, it's a very controversial topic, but it's of course we've all as international or people like BIPOC people, we've experienced it, is racism, right? I've experienced a tad bit of it when I came to Canada. Obviously I thought I wouldn't, because
Land of rainbow and sprinkles and sunshine.
Oh yes, the way it was advertised was it's as you said, land of rainbows and sunshines. So I came here with hoping that I'm not gonna, because I've heard a lot of stories like in different countries just about how difficult it is to be an international student and a person of color, right? So I came to Canada. It was at first it was a really good experience, and I just experienced, it was not full-fledged racism, but it was those microaggressions that just like we notice, like someone else might not notice, but we notice, right? We just it affects us in even the smallest of ways. So one of the most common thing that I've heard is like, oh, you're from India, like your English is so good, and it's, like that's happened to me so many times, and I'm just like, well, we are the second largest English speaking country in the world, so I'm
drop some facts on them. Drop some facts on them.
I can assume that my English should be like at least not the best, but it should I can at least like talk and like write in English, right? Like there's been so many times that like people are just like Oh really? English is like India is the second largest country. I'm like, yeah, it's also a numbers game, but it's also like
Yeah,
just the fact that people don't know that, like especially here in North America. I feel like
exactly.
it's just that you need to learn about other countries, right? Like we learn a lot about North America when we know so much about mostly everything. We know about stuff that even the local residents don't know, right?
Yeah.
So it's just that those microaggressions that then someone else was very shocked to know that India also gets snow, because like they like I came
Okay.
so I think I was at a workplace and someone was like, oh, it must be your first time experiencing snow and everything, and I was like, no, I've had snow, and they like the look on their face was just like,
Oh my God,
oh my
really?
god, like, you have snow, and I was like, yeah, that's how geography works. Like every even other countries have like the northern side, like they're located in the northern side and everything, and they have like snow as well. So it's just those small microaggressions and just like the stereotypes that people have regarding your race, where you come from, your country, and all of that. So yeah, I have had my share of those, but again, as I said, that those have also given me like learnings and stuff, and it's basically just taught me that it doesn't matter like what race, what color, what how you identify yourself as. It doesn't matter, like as long as you're doing something for yourself, for your loved ones, and you're not affecting anyone else in a negative way. I wouldn't judge you.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, like I would like to know you, I would like to talk to you, and like as long as, even if you are like affecting someone in some way, I would also want to tell you that you can always do better. Like I would still not be like, okay, I don't want to
Yeah.
not have any interaction with this person. It's all about learning. Like everyone is their own person, everyone has had different experiences, right? So we are no one to judge anyone for who they are, because like everyone, as I said, is a product of their own experiences. So yeah, it's that's saying that, like, I know your podcast is about like loving yourself. So I feel like to do this, the first thing you need to do is to accept yourself. Because as long as you don't accept yourself, you won't be able to understand the fact of how to accept other people in your life, right? Because you need to accept your own imperfections. They're not really imperfections, like it's just the way we are. Like we are different in so many ways, but we're still the same, right?
Yeah.
In the ground, the base is still the same. We're still like humans. It's just the way we perceive, the way we receive, or like just think about things is different, right? So it doesn't matter in the end. Like we're still the same, even if our body is different, the way we think is different, color of our skin is different, our race is different. We just need to accept ourselves first. We need to love ourselves, and obviously love everyone around us. So you need to accept yourself first in order to accept other people. That's yeah.
This is so much to unpack here. So let's first start on like the colorism issue. Like colorism is a problem with like an issue within minority communities or marginalized group communities all the time.
Yeah.
Like someone who is darker skinned would be seen as like angry or more aggressive than those of their lighter complexion.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, what do you do at that point? Like, do you just say, oh, well, yeah, I'm darker skinned, but like, this is the issue that I have, and this is just the issue that I'm going to go with? Or like, do you fight against those barriers and be like, I have the right to stand up for myself. You just have to get rid of the stereotypes that you have perceived for the person that I look like. And why do we even have stereotypes for me because I look like this? Like, that's not okay.
So I feel like there'll be the way you can tackle the situation. Like there's different ways to tackle the situation, right? Some people might just go ahead and be upfront about it and say that okay, what you're saying is wrong, and like you should not be doing this, and it's actually hurting me. But like other than that, like some people would just take it the way it is and not react to it. So personally, like if it was me, I wouldn't be a person who would react to it, because that's not something that would affect me, because I've just brought myself self-esteem to such a level that like petty stuff doesn't affect me anymore, because it's like it's not worth having to, like, fight like it's different. Like for me personally, like not everyone would have that, right? Some people might feel bad and they might want to react. For me, it's just that I personally, if it's happening to me, I would be the kind of guy who would like talk about it in a subtle way, and I would not be affected by it. But if I see that happening to someone else, then who is clearly not be like able to fight for themselves, then yeah, I would definitely be upfront about it. So it's just that when you accept this is who you are, it doesn't matter what other people say. Like, it might affect you in some way. Like it's a long process. Like it might affect you, but gradually you will learn that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because like making like someone's words affecting you in certain ways, it's just not worth it. When you have that self-confidence, when you have that love for yourself, right? When you know, okay, this is who I am, this is me, I'm born, I'm gonna do this entire journey by myself, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be the only person in my grave, there's no one gonna be beside me.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the only person in my grave and there's no one gonna be beside me or something.
Yeah.
So it, like, this whole journey, you have people around you, right? You have your parents, you have your friends, everyone, but they're in the end they are not you, right? They're here to assist you, they're here to like provide a conducive environment to like for you to grow, but they're not here, like they're not you in general.
They're not living in your body.
Yeah, they're not living in your body. Only the person who's living in your body knows what's happening, right?
Yeah.
No one will care about their own life as much as you, right? You like your parents might as well, till a certain level, but like no one will care about your life as much as you do, or yourself as much as you do. You might not know that, like you might think that you don't, but subconsciously you do.
Yeah.
You always do, right?
Yeah, like you wouldn't purposely stand in front of a car and get hit because you care for yourself, so you don't want to die.
Yeah. So like, it's just that the understanding, the process of loving yourself doesn't happen overnight. You like, again, you will have to go through experiences. You just need to know that it's not that simple, but like it just, I would still say
it's like a work in progress.
It's just, you need to understand the fact that you have to live with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Till the end, like till you reach your grave or beyond, I don't know.
Yeah.
You will be living with yourself. No matter who's around you, if you're living with roommates, if you're living with your parents, if you're living with your better half or something, that is not like, that might be temporary, that might be permanent, but like every second of your life, you're living with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So for every second of your life, if you're accepting who you are, then it doesn't matter what's happening around you. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. I would definitely encourage you to fight for people who are not able to do this, or like just, fight for your right, or just like help other people understand their self-worth. But first thing is working on yourself, getting yourself at this point where okay, it's just me. Like I love myself and I love everyone around me, but first I love myself.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone is for themselves, and then you're for everyone else. Like,
do you find that hard to do though? Like, do you find it hard to like put yourself before others? Because for me, I would do anything for someone if I could, but like I realized that I'd run down my mental state or I'd run down my energy for someone. But even though I know they won't return the same energy for me, like I would still do it anyway because I would put others before myself.
Oh, I have the same thing. Like I've done that a lot of times. Like I've just been like, even if it's affected me, like in terms of like my work, my time, like I've been like, okay, I had something important to do, but like someone asked me for help or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna
that wasn't the case with this podcast.
No, it definitely wasn't. But like I have given up important things that were very important to me, and I've gone out and helped someone else, or like just even if they weren't even like grateful about it, or it's just like But again, as I said, in the back of my mind, I know that I will come first, no matter what. When it's required, like I'm gonna like. I don't know how to put this. Like, I don't want to sound selfish. I'm not talking about like me coming in before everyone else. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about self-worth, right? So these are two different things. I'm not going to be like, okay, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm just going to save myself. I'm not going to save my friends or anything. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm saying is that when you talking about like self-worth, self-confidence and everything, when you know that I am comfortable with myself, then you will always be able to put others, like help others, because you know you're already comfortable with yourself, right? You won't have to work on yourself that much as compared to like helping others.
Yeah.
Like if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like when you go on a plane and they're like, oh, put on your mask first before you help others.
Yeah. So like as I said, like I'm very comfortable with my self-esteem, my self-confidence, right? So because I'm comfortable with it, I'm able to go out of my boundaries
Comfort zone.
Comfort zone and just help others. Like, whenever needed, I'll just think about them, and like, because for me, I know I'm comfortable with who I am, and because I know what it feels like to be that. I really want to be that person who helps others reach that state,
Yeah.
So like that's why like I really like I've been talking to like a few people who have have trouble understanding this. Like so many people have told me like, yo, you're so confident and like all of that, you like you might
you just don't care. Like you don't care. Like someone could say the worst thing to you and be just like, okay,
yeah,
moving on.
Like it doesn't affect me, because it's just I've seen this a lot. Like, this is not because the experiences that I have necessarily. It's also because I've seen this happen with people around in my life, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of places where like people have just like gone to dark places because of the experiences that they've had, and like it's just sad to like, it's just sad, and it's hurtful to see that happen to someone. But like I've also learned to take other people's experiences and just find a way to like work around that and like incorporate that in my life and see how I can tackle that.
Yeah.
Right. So like one thing that I've always like I've fixed in my mind is that, again, life is never going to be just rainbows and sunshine. If it would have been like, we would be like riding unicorns or something. But like it is not, right? Like, just know that like there's always going to be challenges. Like there might be challenges every day. There might be challenges after 1 month, or like you never know. That's the thing. That might be God's plan. Like I'm an atheist, but I'm just I'm just saying. For other people's but like that might be like God's plan, but it's just that when you know that there's going to be challenges, you just need to understand that don't think of them as challenges. They just experiences which will help you grow. They're just experiences that will help you grow. Like there might be very, very tough ones, but just hang in there. Know that you have the ability to tackle it. Right? Like, because like there are so many examples, right, where like people have like overcome the most difficult of situations, right? And like you're like, wow, how can those people do it? It's just the ability to know that like me as a person, me as a human, I'm able to overcome any challenges that are put in front of me. And that comes with the fact that you know your self-worth, you love yourself, and you believe in yourself. Yeah. So that's basically what like loving yourself is all about. Just believing yourself, knowing the fact that like I'm definitely don't have God complex. That is not a good thing. But like knowing the fact that like you know what you're worth. You know that you're gonna be there for yourself. You always need to be there for yourself.
Yeah. Sion said like this thing, like I say this every podcast now. Sion was like, at the end of the day, you're gonna have to die alone. Only you are going to have to live in your body.
Yeah.
So accept it for who you are, because you are going to love yourself the most at the end of the day, and that's on period.
Yeah, definitely. And this sounds unrealistic that like, like loving yourself every time.
Yeah.
And, like there will be times where you will find it difficult. There will be times where like, am I a good person? Like it happens to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has their demons, everyone has their angels and everything. Why am I making so many God references? Anyway, I just watch too much supernatural shows. Anyway, so like, it's just understanding that everyone has that. Like, you know, every single person. There's not one person in the world who doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone has that. It's just that accepting that is what we are, and that is just okay to have those, like, like those sorts of like any kind of experiences or things that you've done in your life, having that and accepting that and using that to change yourself.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
The thing is, if you have a negative experience, or if you're like caused a negative experience for someone else, if you just leave it at that, then that's wrong.
Yeah.
If you use that to change yourself and like change the way you behave, to change the way you like perceive the world, then that's something that you're doing, like that's going on. I wouldn't want to say right path, but that's like something that's good that's coming out of it, right?
Right.
You always need to adapt and like learn from your experiences and make sure that you're working on it. Make sure you're working on yourself. So that's how it works. You need to work on yourself every day to reach to that position. I wouldn't say I've reached that position where I'm just, okay. Anyone, like whatever anyone says to me, I'm just like, oh, no, let's just let it go.
Okay, no, next question. Next.
Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Oh, no, that's what you say.
Yeah, I thought you were fed up with me, so you were just like, oh, this guy talks a lot. No, but yeah, like you will like it will still affect you in some way or the other, right? But like it just reduces.
Yeah, you don't give it the power.
Yeah, you don't give it the power because you yourself have the power to like control your life, right? So I might be circling back and forth, but like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like you need to understand that this is a process that will keep going till you reach your grave.
Yeah.
Till the last second of your life. It's a process.
Oh God.
You need to tell yourself that like, I love myself. I believe in myself.
Period.
I am going to do everything to help myself grow.
Period.
Right? I'm going to help.
At the end.
All of that happens and we die, that's a different thing. But like the fact that you lived that, like the fact that you need to give yourself more than just a pat on your back to have had the strength to grow your character.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Because, like it's like when we are born, we're a blank slate. Right? All babies are blank slates. And then it's not even how people around you behave, because I read it somewhere or saw something like people can influence your life, but you basically are a product of your experience. Like what you take from those environment.
Nature versus nurture.
Everyone receives like their receptivity is different. So like if you put two people in the same situation with the same environment, it's not like they will have the same outcomes, right? Mm-hmm. Or they might be, one might have a good outcome, one might learn and like, be like, okay, this is a negative experience, but I'm going to take the good out of it and I'm going to change myself. The other person might not.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can't blame everything on the environment that you've grown up, because like you also have to understand how you perceive things, right? So when you learn how you perceive things and when you work on it, that's how you're gonna like be able to grow yourself. That's how you're gonna be able to work on yourself, and that's how you're gonna be able to love yourself, right?
But you bring it in like the science side of it, not the psychology minor.
I might have to do another 4 years. I'm done with Sakwalam.
So you shared your negative experiences with us.
Yeah.
So when you were going through your experience with colorism and racism,
Yeah.
what emotions ran through your mind during that time?
As I said, like, especially when it happened, like when colorism happened, I was just like, is it bad for me to be like this? Like, am I not a good person? Am I not like human being? Like it's just as I told you, like that all the stuff that happened after that, like just changing my pictures and like I will tell you now, I'm also nervous to this podcast right now is because that like I'm not that comfortable with camera. Like I'm just there's somewhere in the back of my mind I'm still like, you know what, will I still look good in like pictures, or will I still look good
Of course you will.
like it took me so long to work on my smile because like I just used to have this awkward smile. Like if you watch Friends, you would know that like what's his name? I forgot his name.
Joey?
No.
I don't know. I don't watch Friends. Jack?
No, Chandler. Sorry, I just blanked out for some reason. Anyway, Chandler had this awkward smile whenever the camera came on, right? So like I had that for a very long time. Like I used to just have a straight face, and then like I've learned gradually how to smile because people around me have like helped me feel comfortable when I come in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I was not that comfortable in front of camera. Like to be honest, like you went through my like I'm saying this on podcast, but Thor helped me clean my Instagram account because like I had pictures of just everything and anything because I just wasn't comfortable with like what I needed to show. I used to like think like a million times before posting because I was like, how will people think? What will people think?
Yo,
like it happened. Like it happened.
You didn't
so
need to
many
call me
times.
out.
No. It happens so many times that you're just like, it's just become, especially with technology, it's just become that like your life is not yours anymore, right? It's controlled by everyone and anyone in this world. Someone might be sitting somewhere in the other part of the world and they might be controlling your life, even the slightest bit, just because of technology.
Yeah.
The fact that like you just need to understand that when you start loving yourself, when you start like having that belief in yourself, again, it doesn't matter who like is sitting at the other part of the world and thinking about like looking at your picture and thinking, oh, this is not a good picture.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter anymore as long as you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all that matters.
Happy with it. Like to be honest, I was like for the longest time I was like, what caption should I put? That is like, what caption should I put? What like this? How like, and it just at the end right now, like I still think of it. Like it's not like I don't think of it at all. I still think of it, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Because I'm still growing. Everyone's still growing, right? Not as much as I used to. I am not putting that many filters on because I'm like, okay, I'm okay with my skin color now.
Yeah.
Right? No, I'm okay with it because it changes. I came to Canada. I became a little more like in winter, my skin becomes a little lighter. In summer, again, it becomes dark. So it changes, right? So, but it doesn't matter anymore. Like my pictures are the same no matter if it's in winter, if it's in summer. Like I've just like there were times where like I used to play a lot of basketball back home, and because of that, like my skin gets tanned very quickly, right?
Yeah.
So I used to just change colors like so quickly. Just I would be out in the sun for a day, and I would like just like get darker and darker, and then that would like make me feel worse because I was like, like how would I feel? Like what would people think, right? I don't want people to think that this is my color. Like I'm lighter than this, like this just because it's just it just happened because I was out in the sun. Like I just want to get lighter again, but like that's what it used to be back then. But now it doesn't matter to me anymore. I would gladly go out and play in the sun and be all dark. And I was like,
you like to be outside anyway.
Yeah, I love to be outside. Like I do. So I can't be in enclosed spaces. Yeah, but that's something that I've learned, and I've learned to accept is that no matter what you look, no matter how you are, like it doesn't really matter. I've also learned not to judge other people immediately. Because you never know what their side of the story is. You never know what experiences they've gone through.
Yeah.
Because it might not look like it, but everyone's going through something, even at the slightest bit, even if it's subconsciously, they're going through something. So you just need to make sure that you are loving yourself and you are putting out love in the world. Just love,
Definitely.
putting love around you, so like people understand what it feels like, and they start understanding the worth of love, and like the worth of like loving themselves.
When you went to like the Instagram caption thing, or like what people think of you, like that was so me in like 2012. Like it used to be like, what would someone say about this?
Yeah.
Like what would someone say about this? And I posted like these 4 photos of like myself on like Facebook when I was like in like 2013 or 14.
Yeah.
And then the caption was, I am made as who I am.
Yeah.
Like no one can tell me who I am. Meanwhile, I was over here like, okay, well, I wonder what this person will say in the comments.
Yeah.
And then my mom sent it to me years back later, and she was like, why'd you post this? What does this mean? I said, ma'am, calm down. It's me giving myself some self-love and some self-love when I was like in 2014. So mind your business, okay? I'm doing me, okay? And then she's like, okay, cool, whatever. But like, I just think about what people say so much, or I used to, and then now I'm just like, I really, like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just posting whatever I want to post on Instagram. You don't like what I post on my Instagram, then that's on you. Like, I send pictures to, like, Tayab, and I'm just like, oh, like, what do you think about this part? He's like, no, that's not it. I said, okay, cool, fine, I'm still posting it. I sent an outfit to Tayab once. He was like, I don't see you in it. I was like, okay, cool. And I still bought it and wore it and rocked it. Like, you have to, like, fight what other people say, because sometimes other people's opinions might be wrong. Because if you live by other people's opinions, then you're not living your life. You're letting other people control your life.
Yeah, that's so true.
So live by your own rules and define your own rules.
Like I completely understand. Like you were talking about the captions thing. If you like, when I came here, I didn't even care about like some people do. Like I know my friends did. They like removed all their old pictures and everything, and like just. So that when they come to university, no one has any dirt on them. Meanwhile, I showed up with like pictures from 2010 and stuff. The cringiest photos. Okay, I'm not even kidding. The cringiest photos. Like if you look at me now, and if you see my behavior now, and like just what kind of person I am, and if you look at those pictures, you're like, was this really you?
Yeah.
I literally took them down recently. Like not all of them. Recently, I took them down because my friends just like my close friends just kept going back and like taking screenshots and commenting on them, so that it keeps coming back on my feed like whenever I open Facebook or something.
Yeah.
So it keeps just for fun. So I just took them down because of that. But otherwise, like I literally like I had them for so long, and I was like, I didn't bother going back and looking at them. Like even I didn't go back, and I used to like didn't scroll back, and like I was like, oh, I should take this down. Because, like because it does, like even like when I said like you helped me clean my Instagram account, because like when I came here I still had like so many pictures, right? And then you were like, you know what, let's make this more aesthetic. So you took down some of the pictures, but like it didn't matter anymore, because I knew who I was. Like I knew who I was at this moment, and that's all you needed to see, right? You can understand a person by their past, but you can never understand the journey they've gone through till now, right? You can see someone's past, you can hear their experiences, but you can never really live those experiences, because that person has lived those experiences, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be like, okay, you were so cringy back then, right? You must be a cringy person now. No, I can be a completely different person, right?
Exactly.
I could have learned from my experience. I can be a totally different person right now. So you can't just be like, your camera keeps on closing. Anyway. Little breaks we need. Anyway, so you can't judge a person just by their past. You can just be like, okay, so you were a cringy person in 2010, so I bet you're a cringy person right now, right? With all those weird captions and everything. But I'm really not, and I know that I'm not. I definitely know that I'm not. So it doesn't matter. Also, one other thing, when it comes to like just attires and stuff, I'm a very minimalistic person. I'm pretty sure you must have noticed. I don't even care. I wear like the same stuff
And but you kill it. You kill it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it doesn't like I really don't care. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like, oh, I need to buy new clothes. I own an apparel company.
Nope. Yeah. Name drop your business. Come on. List off your resume. Come on.
I can design my own clothes and like
Period.
buy them, but like it does like I don't care. I like what I wear and I'm gonna wear it every day.
Period.
No matter what you say.
Exactly.
I'm gonna wear it. I know I look good in it, so I'm gonna wear it.
You bought the clothes to wear them.
I know, right? Like, I'm just plugging in H&M here. H&M good stuff, guys. All my clothes are from H&M.
Sponsor me.
Yeah. Put me on your Instagram. I literally go to H&M with H&M clothes on, and it's so funny. But yeah, so like that, like it doesn't matter anymore to me. Like it also this kind of stuff didn't matter when I was young as well. I still used to wear the same clothes, but like yeah, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Like I wear them, I wash them. It's not like I wear them every day. Like I will like do all of that stuff. Like I'm hygienic. I know that. So like it doesn't matter, right? Other like suit yourself, right? If you want to wear something new every time, it's you. Suit yourself. I'm not saying like you should only wear the same clothes all the time. It should be a minimalistic, right? Don't change who you are for other people.
Period.
People change themselves a lot due to peer pressure, and it's just sad. Like people need to understand that like I completely understand peer pressure is very true. Like it happens to everyone, but that pressure is not worth it. Like that pressure is not worth you changing who you are. And then when you change yourself, then it becomes more difficult for you to accept who you are, because then you're in a limbo. You're like, am I this person? Am I that person? Am I the person who I was? So never like try not to get caught in that limbo, because it's difficult to get out of it. Because what happens is then if you change who you are and then you go on a completely different route, and it's hard to come back to who you were, right? So it just makes sure that okay, you're making decisions in the right mind, making sure that like even if you're in peer pressure, even if you're doing stuff for other people, you're not like necessarily changing everything about you. If it's good change, like again, there's nothing, everyone's right and wrong is different, everyone's good or bad is different, right? If it's a good change according to you, go for it. Like at least it's good to try out, but make sure you're not letting go of the rope of like completely, just like the rope that's holding onto you to your previous self. Just making sure that you have at least one hand on it, and you're just when you're trying out new stuff, so that you can easily go back to who you were, right?
Yeah.
But like if you try to change some things about you, and if you think that's working out well for you and it's helping others, it's helping yourself, definitely go on that path. Because main part about life is working on yourself and growing. It's all about just working on yourself and growing in any aspect of life, right? It may be like spiritually, may it be physically, may it be monetarily, like whatever works for you, whatever gives you happiness, right?
Yeah.
There's no one definition of happiness, right? There's no like, not everyone enjoys. Well, I don't know if this is controversial, but not everyone seeks happiness in money. Not everyone seeks happiness in other aspects of life, right? So like, just do what makes you happy, makes you believe in yourself, makes you love yourself, and makes a nice environment around you. Like not just for yourself, but for other people, right? So
yeah,
like
definitely.
They can learn from it. They can also like grow in that environment of yours. So it's all about that.
I can definitely agree, because people learn from other people, and that's how I got my personal experience. So like learning from others and seeing what they did and what worked for them. So when you think about your life and your whole experiences, what is the biggest thing that you've learned?
What's the biggest thing that I've learned? Again, circling back to what I said, is the biggest thing personally that I've learned is believing in myself. It has helped me achieve things that I didn't even think were possible. Like, it is like, it's made me understand what's my purpose in life and what I need.
Yeah.
Like believing in myself and actually just understanding who I am and what I need,
Yeah.
right? Has helped me understand what I like need for the rest of my life, or like not necessarily the rest of my life, but at least for the next foreseeable future. So I know that okay, this is what I need to do. This is what's gonna make me happy. This is what's gonna make people around me, my loved ones, happy. That's what matters to me right now. Is that just making sure that I achieve what I've set out to do, like set out to achieve, and make sure while I'm doing that, I'm there for my loved ones. I'm creating that environment for them, just making sure that I'm putting out love for them as well. And yeah, that's what I've learned. Just like if you believe in yourself, you're gonna find stuff about yourself and just clarity of who you are and what you need.
Yeah.
So just take those small steps to believe in yourself, and you will see that you will gradually learn that you start finding out stuff what makes you happy and what you really need in life. So yeah, that's what I've learned.
God. Wow. So you've learned so much, like believing in yourself, loving yourself for who you are. What does your happiness mean to you?
What does my happiness mean to you? Oh, it means everything.
Not to me, but to yourself.
Oh, yeah. I think my happiness means a lot to you as well, Thor.
Of course, always.
Yeah, always. Vice versa. But to me, it means everything. Like, I can't imagine, I can't see my life without me like making myself happy. Like I can't see living every day just not being one with myself or not being there for myself.
Yeah.
Like every like I don't, not every second, but I'm just thinking that whatever happens, I'm there for myself. Whatever happens, what I'm doing is for myself and for people around me. So that's what's making me happy, and that's what basically life is about, is that you can't truly achieve happiness in every aspect, but you can always strive for like doing stuff where you're in the happiness bubble. So like just imagine it as a big circle, and it's not a point, it's a circle, and you can be anywhere in that circle. You can be moving around in that circle, but as long as you're doing stuff that's making yourself believe in yourself, making yourself understand what you are, who you are, and just achieving even the smallest of things, right? Because even the smallest of things like bring us happiness.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a very big thing. Like even a small thank you, or like just you getting something like a small message.
Cleaning your room.
Yeah, cleaning your room gives you happiness, because it's just something, that incident where like you're just being there for yourself, right? And it can be in any way or form, but that's what making you happy, right? So like it doesn't necessarily matter, or it's not ideal, I would say, to like strive to reach that level of happiness where there's just happiness. That's not gonna happen. As we said earlier, that like life is full of challenges, right?
Yeah.
All you need to do is that strive to be in that like area, or at least near that area of happiness. Just making sure that you're doing those little things that's gonna make yourself love yourself, make yourself believe in yourself, make people around you feel the same. So just make sure that you're in that area, in that circle, and not strive to reach that one point where you're just going to be like, okay, rainbows and sunshines and unicorns and whatever.
I can definitely agree. And like, even though like there are times we don't feel happy, like there are times we just feel down, we just feel sad. So in those moments, what do you find yourself doing to bring yourself back up to this person that you are, this confident, lovely, happy person that you are?
So I believe that everyone, time to time, deserves a break. So like for me, it like not necessarily break from work and stuff, but break from just striving for stuff, like striving for happiness or striving for, you know. So what I do is, if I am feeling down sometime, I will just stop everything, like in not in terms of like work and stuff, stop everything that's going on in my mind. I will try to like stop myself, take a break, um, let the world pass for some time. Like it can be a day, it can be a few hours, it can be 2 days, right? But what I'll do is I will stop myself. I will think why I'm feeling this way, what has caused this, what experience did I undergo for me to feel like this. I will analyze it like for some time, just think about it, see how important is that experience, and how important is it for me to feel this way,
Yeah.
right? And like, is it worth it? Yeah, is it worth it? I ask myself those questions. I will see where's the light in the situation, what I can learn from the situation. I will try to incorporate that. Then I will say, okay, I've had this experience, I fell down, I know what I'm going to learn from this. Okay, next time when it's going to come, I'm going to be prepared for it, right? So not completely prepared, but I know what's gonna, like, how I need to get out of it. So okay, I've taken a day, I've thought about it, I've not thought about anything else, I've just taken a break mentally, sometimes physically. I just like not do anything, right? I just feel like, okay, I need to go through this. Like I will go through that phase. Like I will feel down to the fullest extent. Like I will not, like at that moment, like be like, okay, I am this confident person and I believe in myself, so I can never feel down. That's not true at all. It's not something that you can control. It happens. Accept that it's happening, go through it, next day, the next few days, come back. Right?
Yeah.
Go through it completely. Don't let it be there in you subconsciously, consciously. Accept that that's happened, learn from it. Do whatever you feel like that makes you like comfortable, or just like helps you deal with it. I usually will just know that, okay, it's a bad day, whatever is happening. I will go outside, eat something outside, treat myself, just and I won't even care. Like I would be like, okay, I'm spending money, so what? I'm working on myself, right? I will go out, I'll eat something, I might watch something. Like I'm a very workaholic person. Usually I don't do these things. So like I'm mainly always just working. Like even if I'm not working, I'm mainly thinking about work.
Yeah.
But when stuff like this happens, I will stop that completely. I will think about myself. I will see where that rope is, where I can grab on it and come back, pull myself back. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Go through that experience, analyze it, understand it, learn from it, move on.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like when you go like through those experiences and you're just like, oh, I'm this person, I'm that person, like I'm such a happy person, like I need to get myself back up to this person, like that's what I'm gonna do. I feel like you sort of kind of like suppress it and you push it down instead of like dealing with it like straightforward. And like that's something you have to like get used to, because like it's challenging. It's not that like easy to do.
Yeah, definitely. Just know that you need time sometimes. You need to like stop time sometimes, for yourself.
Yeah.
Again, time is just a social construct.
Oh Lord, the physics major is coming back.
No, we just like you need to stop and think and like just live with what's happening. Like at that moment, just understand it, accept it. Acceptance is so important. Like in every aspect, acceptance of who you are, what's happening with you, what's happening around you is very important. As long as you don't accept that, you won't be able to like fully get through situations or fully experience or learn from situations. That's what acceptance is about, right? You need to understand what's happening. You need to like accept it, and then once you accept it, you know how to deal with stuff. Like, people think that sometimes they don't know how to deal with stuff. Trust me, you do. Your instincts are so good. Like you won't know like how well your instincts are. Sometimes you don't trust them, but like when you just stop and when you analyze stuff and when you accept stuff, you will know the answer. Like, you will know what the answer is, what the solution is to get out of the situation, and how to get back. So like, just, and it can be anything. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Do whatever makes you grounded. Like, just ground yourself in that situation. And yeah, like, for example, like if someone's having an anxiety attack, right? So one of the first things is to like ground yourself and like understand your environment, understand where you are, who you are with. So similar to that, just like understand who you are at that moment, what's happening, what's going on, accept it, ground yourself, and like work on it, learn from it, move on.
No, go off.
Yeah.
Go off. I definitely agree. Like, ground yourself, learn from it, go through it, learn from it, and then move on.
Yeah.
So as we begin to close out the hashtag I Love Me podcast, I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is, what does your self-love mean to you?
It means everything to me. As I said, like, my happiness, self-love means everything. Self-love doesn't necessarily mean you're doing bunch of things for yourself. It doesn't have to be something tangible. Self-love, it doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to buy so many things for myself. I'm going to go on a Amazon shopping spree and just, buy something that I like. Liking something and getting it for yourself doesn't necessarily entail that it's self-love. It can. For some people, it varies according to people. It doesn't for me. Like from my experience, it doesn't, like, getting stuff for me doesn't mean that I'm like, that's self-love. For me, it's reminding myself that this is who I am. I've accepted myself. I'm growing every day. Like, accepting that I'm growing every day, whichever way, but I'm at least growing. I'm going forward. I'm not going backward. And making sure that I'm doing everything that's possible, or like, to make myself and people around me happy.
Yeah.
So that's self-love for me. Not just loving myself, but loving people around me. That's also self-love for me, because that's also helping me grow.
Do you love me?
Yeah, I do.
Aww. Okay.
I have texts to back up that. No, but like, yeah, just making sure that like I am putting in effort to like love, like, just love myself and love people around me, and just like having that understanding that okay, it is self-love. Self-love can differ according to people, but that is what it is for me. And just knowing that I'm growing every day, right? Growing, I feel like growing is self-love.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not loving yourself, if you're not putting in effort, there might not be growth. It's like nurturing a plant, right? If you're putting in effort, if you're giving it water, if you're giving it sunlight, it will grow. Otherwise it won't, right? So self-love is like that. Just grow. Like, sorry, I don't want to be too bold about it. Like, I can't say just grow, but like, put in the effort.
Yeah.
Like, nurture yourself. You will see the growth. When you see the growth, okay, that you're loving yourself, and that's what self-love means to me.
You're just dropping some like messages on this podcast today.
I should turn into a motivational speaker.
You should. You definitely should. And so, speaking on the terms of like motivational speaker, if you could offer anybody who was in your situation some advice, what is one thing you'd say to them?
One thing?
Yeah.
Some advice. Okay. That is a tough question. Okay. Can I give me a few minutes to think about it? No, I'm just kidding. For me, like, from everything that I've said so far in this podcast, I know I've repeated myself a few times, but again, that's what I love me means to me. So one thing that I would tell people is please, please, please uh, learn to accept. Please learn to accept every like stuff about you, stuff about things that are happening around you, and just in general, like when you live in like denial, like there are some times where you want to deny stuff, right? That it just happens. It's not something. Sometimes it's not something that you can control.
Yeah.
But develop that skill of, at least try to develop that skill of learning to accept, because it will help you go so far in life, because it would not only learn to accept yourself or like things about you, learn to accept things about other people, right?
Yeah.
So it will help you so much when it comes to relationships, when it comes to just bonds that you form with people from different walks of life, because there are so many times where you just like what happened?
I don't know.
There are so many times where you just mess up things, or like just like in terms of like just ego, or like just stuff like that. You just like let go of things, or like that you might regret, or like if you just think, if you just stop, if you analyze, if you accept and you learn, like if you just accept that situation, it will be so much, like it will help you so much in every aspect of life. Like it will help you not just with relationships, like so for me, like accepting that color doesn't define who I am. It might tell people where I am from, or like it might tell people how I was, like where I was born, like what language I'm, like just superficial stuff like that. But it would never like tell people who I actually am, because that's my story to tell. That's how I'm going to tell, with my actions, my words, right? So just accepting who you are, and like just learning that skill of accepting things around you will go a long way. That's one learning that I want to say. I'm so sorry that I if I've talked a lot and just extended things, but I really want to like tell people through this podcast, because I think it's a great podcast and it's really helping people out there, because I've listened to it and it's amazing. It's just that these few things that you learn from it, like that you might have heard from my experiences that I'm sharing right now, just make sure that you incorporate it some way, because it will help you in life, right? Because I've heard other people's podcasts, and I've heard their experiences, and I've actually like thought about, okay, if I was in that situation, what would I do? How would I perceive it? How would I work around it, right? So it gives me the time to think about it even before I experience it, if I may experience it ever in my life. So just that's all I want to say. Just accept yourself.
Yeah, that's what I Love Me is about. All about accepting yourself, but also hearing other people's experiences, hearing what they went through, how did they go through it, and then learning from that for yourself. Oh my God, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. It's been so good.
Not a problem. It was my pleasure, Thor. And obviously, it's always a pleasure working with you and talking to you. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Not you being nice to me today.
Before I end, I want to say, like, I definitely love me, but I also love Thor. He's an amazing guy, and you should definitely listen to his podcast after mine as well. Like, I know you're going to listen to mine, but just listen to everyone's podcast as well.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. It's been such a great pleasure having you here with me, giving your insightful thoughts and messages, and letting everyone know to love and accept themselves for who they are. My name is Thor.
And my name is Pushkaraj.
And we are out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.